Hey, how's it everyone? Check this out. It's gonna be you today. Or maybe this. Alright, that's what we're gonna get into in a little bit. This is Mr. Pat coming at you again from the Windward Boys and Girls Club, Kailua Oahu. I'll do a little music, but I'm gonna do this slightly differently. I was thinking about what we've been doing here, and we started this, we wanted to give you folks something. We wanted to reach out and let you know we were thinking about you most of all. And we wanted to provide you with stuff, kind of down-home videos, give you a little bit of education on that you're missing on the mathematics. That's why I've been doing all the division house, factoring, reducing fractions. That's going to continue. But today and tomorrow I'm going to do more fun stuff. Today we're going to do this artistic thing. And tomorrow, get your ukuleles. I'm going to talk to you about how to make chords and play in the ukulele fretboard. Hopefully you can play along and learn some stuff from that. And I'm going to keep playing music, but I started thinking about it, and I realized we're doing all this coronavirus lyrics and whatnot, and it's all cool. Those are old rock and roll songs. They're all good, but I think people are kind of saturated by that. You know, this situation we're in is not going to go away, but you don't have to remind each other of it all the time. So it's time to have a little fun. So I'm going to branch away from that and still do music, but maybe not so focused on the COVID aspect of it, if you will. We still need to keep our distance from each other, wear our mask to protect other people, protects anything we might have and not know it. We still need to wash our hands, do all those things. That's going to continue. But you know that. You don't need to be reminded every single time. So let's have a little fun. I'm going to hook up my guitar and play something. It's an original thing, kind of draw you into today's lesson. And then we'll get into stuff and let you have a little bit of fun. Okay, here we go. As I get ready, I can tell you right now, for today, you're going to need paper. If you have graph paper, it works really good, but any paper will do. You're going to need a straight edge, ruler, protractor, whatever you got, some straight edge. And you're going to need a pen or pencil, and if you have colored pencils, get them. You'll enjoy it. Okay, let me get everything set up. I'm going to leave it like this while I play music. Okay, again, this song is called Special Delivery. Got something special now just for you. Have fun and maybe learn a thing or two. Don't have to be an artist, we're gonna get you started. Got something special now just for you. You draw straight lines, but you will see your brain will get all illusion-y. Okay, that's it for the music. Let's get on to our lesson. Special Delivery, written by Mr. Pat. Okay, so I got my thing all set up. Hopefully you got your paper. If not, go over and get that. And get your straight edge. If you have graph paper, it's an epic to use for this, because all these little notches I drew are part of the graph paper. So if you have that, you're going to find that that's the best way to do this. If not, then you're going to draw a set of axes. I would recommend, okay, about how long your cell phone is. Something about like that. in each direction. So don't make it too small. Make it about 6 inches in each direction, and it'll work out a lot better. So you're drawing your straight edge, you know, and then you're going to put notches. I would recommend them being fairly close together. If they're too far apart, you don't get the illusion you're going to create. And it helps if you have the same number here as there. So that takes a little bit of practice and time to set up. So what I'm going to do is, you're not in my classroom and I can't walk around and troubleshoot and help you. So I'm going to show you what you do, but I'm going to wait about, I don't know, 20-30 seconds while you're drawing those things. And I'll tell you a little bit about what's coming up. So as you're drawing your lines and you're putting these notches, I think I have like 16 of them going down, 16 of them going that way, so they match up good. I started with a 90-degree angle. That's not a requirement. It's just a good way to show what's up. Tomorrow, like I said, we're going to bust out our ukuleles. We're going to talk about chords, what makes a C chord and a G and things like that, so everyone can learn something there about music. We'll look at the fretboard. That's the part of the ukulele, you know, with the frets and all that, and the notes. We'll look at what those notes are and then put the two together to see how you can make chords on a ukulele. I'm a guitar player. I kind of teaching myself ukulele as we go, applying from one instrument to the other, but hopefully it'll benefit you. That way, if you don't have a chart, you can figure out how to make a chord maybe. Okay? Next week, we will get back in to the last part of the division house with the adding, subtracting fractions. That's pretty tough. The division house makes it really, really cool and easy. And then on the other end of that, the two things I have, especially if school does not resume, which it looks like it probably won't, we'll get into the quadratic function graphing. Those are the curved lines. And then we'll also deal with simplifying and solving equations with square roots, if there's time. Okay? That's what's coming up. So hopefully you got all your stuff drawn while I was yakking there. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use colors to point this out. So we're going to start at the very top here and make that dot red. And we're going to use our straight edge. Use your straight edge, don't do it by hand. And we're going to connect to the very first dot out here. So one dot out from the origin here connects to that. And you're going to do that with your straight edge. Okay? So you're going to carefully go like this. You're going to line those two things up. And you are going to simply draw a straight line. Just like that. All right? Okay, I'm going to use a different color now. You no longer draw from that dot. And you no longer draw to that dot. You're going to draw from different things. So what you do is you drop down one. So now I'm at the second one, the one down. And I don't use this anymore, I go one out. So I drop down one here, I go out one here, and then I repeat that straight line. So now what I'm doing is I'm hooking up this dot to this green one, not to the other one that I started on. Okay, so I came here, I went out to there. Okay, I'll use color for one more. So we're on our third straight line, so I'm going to drop down one more, and I'm going to go out one more. So I continued dropping down one more, I continued going out one more. to draw straight very carefully. Straight edge makes it work really well. And that's the sequence for everything you're going to do today. Once you get the hang of it, it's just a repetitive motion. As you go down this axis, each line you go one more down than the one before it. So we were up here at the orange, so now I'm going to come here. On the horizontal axis, each line you go one more out. So I'll color this as my last color coding. So now I'm here, one more down, and I'm one more out. And I continue that color thing. Okay, let me cap my markers so they don't dry up. And be careful with your straight edge. Okay, and go ahead and finish that. Keep going down one, keep going out one. So it's kind of like a mantra saying to yourself, down one, out one, down one, out one, down one, out one, down one, out one. Keep it up. Keep going down one more each time. Keep going out one more each time. Do-do-do. I could have gone from rags to riches. Here we go. It's easier to do on a flat paper on a desk. It's a little tricky here with going backwards like I'm doing it. I hope I can do it without messing my lines up. Sweet. So far, so good. Okay, just doing your best. Keep going to I. Keep going down one. Keep going out one. Okay. Stand up here and do this. Okay, bam. Hey, and I counted right, it matches up. So my last one goes to the most out. Awesome. That was a pretty good job. Now, I don't know about you. Hopefully yours came out that way. If it doesn't show as cool as this, then probably you made the axis too short. So the longer you make it and the closer the dots are together, that's the best way to get the effect. Now, you watch me for a few lessons, and Mr. Pat's not the best artist in the world. So I was stunned when I first did this, because it has a really cool effect. To me, it looked like a tennis net that had like come undone on one side and collapsed over. But it gave the illusion of that like roundedness. What's a total trip when you show this to someone is every line there is a straight line. But it gives a curved illusion. That's what I meant on the lyrics when I said your brain gets all illusion-y. So this is called string art. Okay. So I gave you the simplest example, and you can follow through any way you want. So the best thing I can do to show you this is show you how to do the basic, and it's kind of like up to you how much patience and inventiveness, ingenuity you have, how much stick-to-itness you have. When I first did this, I did it with my son, and the first thing he did was he went like this, And he made a bunch of other notches right here. And that created some pretty cool stuff. Let's see if we got one of those things. So what it did was it showed kind of like showed something like this, like a manta ray. He used it as a fighter jet. So he made a bunch of those, and it gave this illusion, like the curve ended up going like this, and then he gave this illusion of fighters coming at you, and it was like super, super cool, because it gives a three-dimensional effect. So what I want to do is I want to show you things that students have done in the past so that you can understand this simple procedure, what its capabilities are. So here's some stuff that I've seen from 7th and 8th graders that have done in the past. Okay, this is something. So actually I'm going to spin this a little bit, make it easier. So check this out. You can see how they put a bunch of these together. You can Google examples of this kind of thing. It's pretty sick. You can make, here's a real simple example of stuff that looks super cool. That's just 4 of these matched up together, and then they color the checkerboard differently. Here's somebody got a little more creative, like, whoa. Kind of up to you. These are like my favorites. These, like, odd, like, what in the world? Spacey. Then, you ever read George Orwell's 1984, Big Brother is watching? But look at the bottom. Look at the landscape effect, the three-dimensional effect there, by drawing correctly. So if you have some artistic knowledge and can put this thing together, you can make whole mountain, land, seascapes. Okay. One thing that jumps out at you on this is color makes it awesome. So check that out. So if you look how they do this, I can kind of show you. So if you look at one flower petal, and there's one like this, and then they do another one like that, and you get that same curve going the other direction. And that's how they make a flower petal. So I don't want to do it because it'll take so long, but that's like one thing and another. It's just these right angle stuffs. Pretty sick. But color makes all the difference in the world. Here's a fairly simple one, but check out, use color when you do it. Looks really nice. And you definitely get that. Yeah. One thing that's just totally insane in all this. I'm going to show something again. Look at this again. Look at this again. Every single line drawn there is a straight line. There are no curved lines drawn at all. It's the illusion of curved from drawing straight lines properly. And then here's that one I showed you a piece of. So somebody's showing the ocean, a fish, and a manta ray swimming underneath the swells on top. So you can get creative. Palm tree, it's hard to see, it's dark, but each of those top ones is actually a string art thing. There's kind of a mean sea life picture where the big figure is like a shark or a fish going after another smaller one about to have a snack. So you can get as creative as you want. People know I love to surf, so one of my students did this. Kind of funny. You look at the way the waves are put together. So they just, where'd my eraser go? Anyhow, you can see all this. Sorry, I couldn't find my eraser. It's just stacking them on top of each other and making breaking waves. This could be like a breaking wave if you want it. It's pretty crazy what people can do. So that's up to you what you do. So this is called string art, and it's actually got extremely profound graphic art implications. So if you guys, a lot of you are learning coding and you're learning coding, computer programming and whatnot, and you know the binary code, computers work, I'm erasing here, computers work on the 0, 1, base 2 system, a binary code. And they draw straight lines easily because of that, 0 to 1, over and over again. So what people figured out was if they take this concept and the computer's just drawing tons of straight lines, and the graphic artist have figured out a way to put it like on a spindle and get three-dimensional straight line drawing, that's how they computer simulate everything and make it look so real. It's the truth. I saw that a special at a Supermalt commercial about 18 years ago or something. It was a dinosaur that busted out of a museum, and it looked so real. We were like, whoa! It didn't look like the monster movies from when I was a kid. It looked very, very realistic, and then it showed how they do that. It's how The Matrix and all those original movies that blew people's minds, like how in the world did they get those effects? It's actually an application of this. So string art has profound computer applications in the graphic art field. I'm just showing you the real simplified basic idea. It's super cool. Use graph paper is what I recommend. If you look at something like this, that's on graph paper. So all the notches, if you will, are drawn for you. So you're just drawing the lines. Don't feel locked into 90-degree angles. Make any kind of angle you want. That's totally up to you. Be creative. Have fun with it. Go surf with it. I mean, it's totally up to you. What this person did to get the wave was they just did another one going out like that, okay? And that gave its own curve. And then they did another one coming down, and that gave its own curve. Okay? And that's where actually, let me draw that the right way. It came in like that, and that's how the surf thing was put together. I didn't show any of the students any of this. All I've shown them is the basic, and you guys take off. So hopefully some of you will embrace that. If you have to look at the video more than once to see the inspiration, I'm sure you can go online and find things too. Okay, so good on you if you do this. It's a great thing to learn, and who knows, it may get you going on some graphic art stuff. All right. Well, as our plan is, I'll outro a little bit. Again, tomorrow, bring your ukulele with you when you see this. I know you're watching a tape, that's cool. But having your ukulele on hand and being able to do that, I'm going to teach you some stuff about chords and the ukulele fretboard and how to create chords on it. Okay, so aloha, here is some more special delivery in the key of E. Get going with a simple plan. Stick right with it if you think you can. Don't have to be an artist, well, we just got you started. Something simple, baby, if you can. Fun enrichment, what we serve. The lines are straight, but your brain's gonna curve. All right. Fun working with you. Thank you. See you next time. Mr. Pat from Kailua Boys and Girls Club. Aloha.